This is the Orioles POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Baltimore Orioles. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Tuesday, wherever you may be. I hope you are safe and sound tuning in to the Locked On Orioles postcast. As always, my name is Luke Slabaugh, and I'm your post-game show host exclusively here on Locked On Orioles for the rest of this 2025 campaign. If you're new here, if this is your first time checking us out in your feed, wherever you're watching on the replay, we stream these live to YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead, like, subscribe, thumbs up, comments, what you would change about this show. I like to take feedback. I like to interact with you all in the comments. And tonight we have to power through another therapy session. 5-0 loss for the O's, the hands of the Philadelphia Phillies over at Citizens Bank Ballpark. I was thinking going into tonight, this is the 100th episode of the postcast that I have done this season. 114th game for the O's. And so going into game 114, they've had 5 doubleheaders. Missed 3 due to a wedding in early May. Missed 3 when I was really sick last month, and 3 missed due to work commitments. So if you break down the numbers, only 3 times have I willingly not tuned into this Orioles team here in 2025. And yet, we cannot escape the team's 12th shutout loss of the season. Plenty to gripe about in this loss. The O's did not get a runner in scoring position until the 9th inning. Narniak, frequent commenter on YouTube, says at this point, the Norfolk Tides, Samuel Basayo, Dylan Beavers, Ryan Mountcastle et al. Probably could do better. It's time. It's time for the O's to bring up some of that young core and give them some reps and look forward to 2026. And we'll get to that in a second. However, first, we'll talk about the O's offense fizzling out and collapsing at the hands of right-hander Taijuan Walker.
This is what you'll be talking about.
We'll talk about Taijuan. I think the bats went to Taijuan. Right-hander Taijuan Walker, one of the former top prospects in all of baseball. First-round draft pick out of the Mariners. And in 2014, he was top 5 prospect in all of baseball. Very inconsistent career. Latched on with the Mets for a bit. And here he is now in Philadelphia stringing together a quality start, 6 scoreless against the O's. The ball did not leave the infield. Walker only induced 1 flyout ball in his 6 innings of work. And as the O's offense goes, as I've described it on many occasions this season, it was very much like the dating scene in Annapolis. 5 scattered singles, unrelated. Pretty bad. 3 of those singles coming with 2 outs in the inning, so no momentum behind it and no way to really convert those. Team hasn't had a runner in scoring position in 15 innings until the 9th inning tonight. And that's the thing. Can't put runners on, can't move them over. What are you going to do? One idea that came to mind was Jeremiah Jackson is learning and DHing tonight. Tyler O'Neill out in right field. We're going to dedicate the second block to General Tyler O'Neill. The O's first really good chance, minus Jordan Westburg getting a first inning single with 1 out. They couldn't move him over. We go top 2 with 2 outs. Jeremiah Jackson hits an infield sinker deflecting off the third baseman and fielded by the shortstop, Trey Turner. I believe his 3rd infield hit so far in his very brief cup of coffee in the major leagues. And he's picked off, hung out to dry at the end of the inning, just leaning a little bit too much towards second base. This is the 2nd time that he's been picked off and the 14th pickoff that the O's have suffered this year, tied for 3rd in Major League Baseball. We mentioned the O's couldn't get anything going offensively. Top 6, 1 out, you're gifted a hit by pitch. Jordan Westburg gets drilled on a fastball inside. Gunnar Henderson then first pitch swinging against Walker. Cutter middle, so you don't knock him for it. But it's a lazy fly out to left field. And the first ball to leave the infield recorded for an out on the fly. Then Adley Rutschman grounds out on a splitter to end the inning and starting that scoreless streak at 12 consecutive. So that the O's hadn't had a runner in scoring position and hadn't gotten a hit with the runner in scoring position since the 2nd inning last night. That's when Tyler O'Neill hit his 2-run home run. Adley Rutschman doubled to lead off that inning. Went 1-for-1 last night with wrist. Not much to show for it when you lose by 10. So 15 innings without a runner in scoring position. Right-hander Max Lazar is in the top of the ninth. Jordan Westbrook gets a leadoff single to left. First leadoff man to reach for the O's tonight. Gunnar strikes out on a splitter, can't move him over. Adley Rutschman weakly grounding a ball to second base. Got Westy to second base, and Ryan Noda filling in for Tyler O'Neill strikes out looking to end this night. The offense did not do anything to support Dean Kramer, who did okay. There was just one bad inning that plagued him. Splitter was working, wasn't afraid to challenge guys inside on the fastball, and just got burnt a little bit tonight in the bottom of the second, and is a subject of tonight's turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
1 out in the bottom of the second. Nick Castellanos hits a broken bat single up the middle, kind of a dribbler. With Brandon Marsh at the plate, Dean Kramer slips delivering a pitch. You got Castellanos on first, not much of a fast runner at all, and Kramer can't release the ball. He actually trips off the mound, and it's called a balk, and rightfully so. Castellanos moves up to second. So Kramer's now got to deal with a runner dancing on second base, and tight game here. Throws Marsh a hanging curveball, hanging high, and it's a double to right field. Castellanos in scoring position comes around to score, makes it 1-0. Well fought at bat against Max Kepler, the left fielder. Next at bat gets a fastball low and in at 95 that he really likes, puts the barrel on it. Bat head drops. It's a 2-run home run and a 3-0 score. After that, Kramer gets Edmundo Sosa to strike out on a splitter low and away. Gives up a single to Bryson Stott, was out in front of a splitter that was veering towards the outside part of the plate. And at that point, with 2 outs, Drew French, the pitching coach, sees fit to come out and talk to Dean. And this is something that we've barked about all year, is it's almost coming a batter or two too late. That if you want to bring someone's composure back to ground, make them breathe a little bit slower, maybe go through strategy of a dangerous hitter like a Brandon Marsh or a Max Kepler. You might want to get out in front of this. You've only got so many mound visits to burn. And so to do this early on with game tied at 0, it could be a potential turning point in the game for the better. That mound visit doesn't do any good because Trey Turner then singles, which on an attempted fielder's choice. Westberg trying to throw out the runner at second base. Schwarber walks, and then Bryce Harper flies out to center to end the inning. All that takes 50 pitches for Dean Kramer to go through the first 2 innings. And it appears that my browser has lost my camera. If you can still hear me, give me a thumbs up in the chat. This is not of my doing, but it seems like we're going off camera for a little bit here on the Orioles postcast. That's really all I had to say in terms of this first block. Coming up, I will dissect Tyler O'Neill and the injury problem that keeps persisting. There was a lot of good stuff that I wanted to talk about with Dean Kramer. I gave up a hanging cutter, a triple to Bryson Stott with Max Kepler scoring to make it 4-0. We'll talk a little bit about that after the break. This is the Baltimore Orioles postcast. Please stick with us as we attempt to get this camera back up and running here. I know that this is a tough time for all of us as the Orioles lose this one 5-0 to the Philadelphia Phillies. Hopefully this comes back on soon. Stick with us. Add copy? Yep, that's me. What if I put this postcast? No, I guess not. It's brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. For our listening audience, I'm invisible. I'm not entirely sure why. There's a troubleshooting problem like none other. Time to fuel up and turn it up with 5 Hour Energy Transfusion. What is Transfusion? It's that bold grape, ginger, and lime flavor of your favorite golf drink, minus the alcohol. It's a quick, energizing shot. Let's be honest. Some days on the golf course, it works. Other times, it's just not working for you on that day. Man. But 5 Hour Energy is here to save you. And it's been here to save me. Powering through these Orioles postcasts. Golf's all about good times and good people. If you go to 5hourenergy.com today, that is the number 5hourenergy.com, you can use my promo code LOCKEDONGolf to receive 20% off your order. This offer is only valid until September 30th on one order and cannot be used with other promotions. The code is not good on subscription orders. Whether you're meeting up with friends or trying to turn 18 holes into 36, get the energizing boost you need to power through. Order transfusion flavored 5-Hour Energy shots today. One more sponsor on the night, and it's FanDuel, brought to you by the invisible talent on air. Summer sports, keep on keeping on. This is one of my favorite times of the year as we look ahead to football season, as we wrap up some of the more competitive things, the WNBA. You know, you're already following the action. Make it more thrilling with FanDuel. It's easy to use, fast to pay out, and makes even regular season games feel like must-watch events. Whether you place a same-game parlay or watch a bet ride into the ninth inning, it makes you feel like you're part of the action all the time. New to FanDuel, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com to get started. Thanks to FanDuel.com for sponsoring this show. Not entirely sure what happened with the camera here on the Orioles postcast. Everything seems plugged in and ready to go, but and I'm seeing it on my own personal computer camera app. But so far, nothing cooking. And I do apologize that I am off camera here for this second block. This has never happened before on our 100th episode of the Orioles postcast. So we're going to get out of here in 3 minutes. We will talk about Tyler O'Neill. Bottom of the sixth, Ryan Noda, most recent waiver wire acquisition from the White Sox, had a hit, game-tying hit in that Cubs series. He fills in right field for Tyler O'Neill. He was in the on-deck circle in the top of the sixth before the prior hitter, I believe it was Adley Rutschman. Yes, it was, made an out to end the inning. O'Neill goes 0 for 2. Noda also 0 for 2 with a game-ending strikeout. And O'Neill leaves the game with what the team calls right wrist discomfort. Right wrist discomfort. And you're wondering probably, how does this happen? What is the most recent play that Tyler O'Neill took part in? You have to go back to the bottom of the fourth. Dean Kramer's still on the mound. It's a 3-0 ball game. Max Kepler hits a first pitch curveball down the right field line, and it's a double. Edmundo Sosa then strikes out on a splitter, a frequent splitter victim by Dean Kramer today. Then Bryson Stott gets a hanging cutter inside, hits a fly ball that's destined to hit the bleachers and into the seats. It looked like it was going out. Caroms off the top of the wall, which is in play, and ricochets all the way into shallow right center where Dylan Carlson is. Now, O'Neill had a beat on that fly ball, and he was tracking it down. He has a right wrist guard or sweatband on his right wrist, and he is sizing up 3-2-1 fence, trying to make that catch at the wall, and can't. But he didn't have a good beat on this ball. It wasn't like he banged into the wall. So it would be mind-boggling for him to have hurt himself on that play. So either this is coming from conditioning, it's coming from warming up, it's coming from batting practice. I really, really don't know. However, it's another poor injury in this narrative and litany of boo-boos that happened to Tyler O'Neill here in 2025. Right wrist discomfort. I'm seeing a lot of comments here right now. Go ahead, leave a comment here. Let me know that you watched this one, even though I've been off camera for 5 to 6 minutes. I do apologize. I'm not entirely sure how this happened here on the live YouTube stream. Tyler O'Neill's got some pop in his bat, and at his best, he's a 30 home run threat. You can make this contract work. And yet, these false starts and stops are discouraging for Orioles fans, as they should be. And all of you who are clamoring for Samuel Basallo and for Dylan Beavers to come up and make his mark, I'm starting to think that you guys are on the right foot here. I think that that's probably the move that has to happen here. This has been the Baltimore Orioles postcast. I do apologize here on our 100th episode. It appears either the internet or the camera has failed me midway through this show. The final score tonight, the Philadelphia Phillies 5 and the Baltimore Orioles 0. Good night. Stay safe. and I will see you right back here tomorrow night. Trevor Rogers on the bump against Ranger Suarez. So the left-hander T. Rogers with a 4-2 record and a 1.44 ERA takes the bump for the Orioles. I'll see you then, guys, and hopefully we get this all sorted out by then. Good night.